We have with us another special guest here at the Thomson Reuters booth, Brian Peccarelli, President, Tax and Accounting Business at TR. Thanks so much, Brian, for joining us.
Your thoughts, my pleasure.
Your thoughts on this Congress. 5 days of riveting panel discussions, thought leadership, a lot of takeaways. What were the few takeaways for you?
Well, to me, just the energy here. I mean, the participation and, a very large turnout. Lots of locals, so from Brazil and Latin America. So the kind of the mix and the conversation had a very global aspect to it, being in this region. So I thought, again, trying to tackle and have conversations around tough issues, whether it was BEPS, whether it's transfer pricing,
transparency.
There's right, and also starting to come into play was around digital. What are we going to do with that going forward, and how to tax that? The digital economy. So I think, this one was fantastic and kept the conversation going. As I said, a lot of high energy from everybody. Some great panels to listen to. It's always great to hear from experts.
When you were interacting with some of the corporates here, the professionals here, what is it that you took out of those conversations? Anything that stood out? Any concerns that stood out? What are they looking forward to in the next 12 to 24 months?
Well, I think a continued clarity on some of the issues. I mean, when it comes to the multilateral instruments, for example.
Isn't clarity elusive? Isn't it elusive?
So I think, everybody's hoping for more clarity. I think, when it comes to certain things like country-by-country reporting, people are very active now because it's real, it's there, compliance has to take place. Now they're starting to think about, what's going to happen in the next 12, 24 months or beyond around transparency of that information. And so the conversation starts to shift in different aspects.
When you hear people talk about compliance, and it is a sector where TR is very strong, do people also in the same breath talk about the compliance cost burden, which was mentioned a few times here at the Congress?
Yeah, there always is that, the cost of complying with whatever it is. I think we're very fortunate today to have technologies that can lessen that burden and can really automate things that couldn't have been automated in the past. So and I think that's kind of the focus. I know we were visited by many attendees and talking about and exploring, what tools we have
the CBC
to allow
engine.
to allow them to comply, and it shifts the conversation around that to, okay, if this is reality, then what am I going to do? What are those engines and those technology platforms that actually allow us to fully comply and be very cost effective doing it?
It's not always easy for even global companies like you to be nimble-footed and quickly adapt to the changing times. 3 years back, Brian, would you have betted that BEPS would be a reality 36 months down the line?
So for us, we have to be investing well into the future, so we follow trends and we start building, because you can't wait until something becomes finalized to actually start building a solution that others will use. So sometimes they pan out and we build it and then we're ready and can really help companies. Other times regulation never makes it all the way through and we have to repurpose what we've done. But there's no way we can wait until things are finalized. So that's why people put their trust in us, because we're building ahead of the curve, we're watching the trends, and we're ready for when things become regulation.
What do you tell global MNCs when you meet their CEOs and CFOs and corporate tax directors, their tax teams? What is your advice to them in these dynamic, turbulent, changing times?
Be more forward-looking. Look to anticipate, start planning earlier for when some of these things are coming. Don't just wait and see, but really understand where things are, and team up with a partner you can trust. So when something happens, and it's usually a timing issue, you've already got a relationship and can take care of the issue and be in full compliance.
Brian, we are going to do a quick plug-in for our Taxsutra Conclave on October 5, 6, 7 in Delhi. You're going to be doing the inaugural address. You're going to be participating in a panel on technology. Could you quickly, for the benefit of our Indian viewers, tell us what are you going to be discussing with them?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Discussing some of these world trends that are taking place, discussing some of the local trends and the issues around it, and talking about disruption, both from a technological perspective and a regulatory perspective, and what that means to everybody.
Brian, a pleasure talking to you, and we look forward to hosting you in India in a
I'm
month's
really
time.
looking forward to it.
Thanks so much for your time, Brian.
So thank you.
Yeah, bye.